The story began a long time ago, a time when the earth and the sky and the people and the animals were in balance. It was a beautiful place where full of lush tropical trees, the ocean surrounded on both sides, where the people came together and worked in unity and peace, knowing that they work for the greater good. And then a time came when the oceans raged, where the people fell to their knees and shook at the might of the earth. They asked the earth what it is that is happening, and they found silence. They searched and they searched and they searched, finding nothing, begging the universe to share with them what it is that was wrong. And then, too, nothing came. But through these ages or time, as these people fought to find out what was wrong, the anger of the ocean and the earth rose in greater and greater fury. The people did not understand, and the animals seemed to be resigned to what was happening, that they knew, but they knew that they did not have any control over it, that it was about the people. Ages and ages went by, the people continuing to try to figure out what had gone wrong, why they had lost this precious place that they once called home, and now found themselves in a world of suffering, strife, and barely surviving. Their soul remembers a time when things were much easier, where abundance was plenty. No one went without. Everyone always had what was theirs, not from a place of lack, but from a place of being able to use those resources in order to play and allow their spirit to grow. And within each of these people, they felt this calling to a place that seemed so distant and seemed so impossible from where they are now. But yet the call kept coming, and it kept getting stronger and louder and louder and louder until they could no longer deny it. Something was calling them home, back to something greater, more peaceful, more joyful, more fun. But it had been so long they lost their way. They didn't not only know what it was that was calling, but they had no idea how to get home. So the humans and creatures sought to seek more, to research, to find out how to get this mysterious sweet spot that they felt within themselves back to them. But the searching and striving and thrive and surviving only created more and more wants and less results. The strife continued, the struggle continued, the resources started to dwindle. The earth seemed to be pulling back. The ocean was no longer angry, but the resources on earth were starting to change, and not for the better. She had given people the time that she felt was needed in order for them to find their place, to find how they get home so that they too can live in union with her once again. The time had come where she needed to leave her children behind. It was time for some tough love for them to understand that what they sought was actually inside of them and not outside in some mysterious place hidden below the sea or even under the earth. It is all there. It is all within your DNA. And what you feel that calling from is from your DNA. And the time has come now for you to answer that call, but to do so, you must go within. Clear the cobwebs that prevent you from remembering what that was and how to get back there. But no, it's not a doing. It is a being. You are a human being, and you have forgot how to be. Instead, you have become human doings. Doing is not your specialty. You were made to create and be with your creation and play with them and allow the fruits of that to come into play. So after years and years of searching, the people started to realize that what they were seeking for was not outside themselves, that it was indeed within, and that the outside world was just a mirror of their own deep thoughts, trauma, emotions, beliefs, and experiences within. And because they had been so long since they had remembered this, their insides were a tangled mess. And this too posed a problem. Where do you start? What is the best way to move into this space? And there too, they got lost. Started to focus on the outside things, trying to find the process or the thing or the person that would help them understand what string to pull first. As before, getting lost in the mind trap of the mind, thinking you need to do something to get something, when in actuality, you just need to be with it. And if you allowed yourself to be with it, it would just unfold on its own. We understand that there is some fear there, that it might unfold and you might lose some things along the way, or things might change too fast. But dip into that, because that fear holds you back. It happens as it's supposed to. It unfolds like a flower, one petal at a time. Some of you will go faster than others, and there is no comparison. But the search is over. We ask that you return to yourself, remember the truth of who you are, and remember the power that lies within you. The outside mirror, the outside world is just an illusion. The only thing that exists is what is in your inner reality or in your imagination. When you pull back your power, you pull back the constructs that have created that to begin with. As you and many of your other souls on the planet have chosen not only to create it for themselves, but to create it together, so it seems like this giant pile of rock that cannot be tumbled. But as you pull your power back, your energy back, and use it as a creative force within you again, you take that power away from that structure and it cannot survive. There is no blame here. There is no powerless or regret. This is of your creation. And when you come to terms with that, you realize you can uncreate it too. You cannot harm people. We do this out of love, not of anger. And that too is part of your mission, to remember how to open yourself up to this love that lives within you. It's there. It's not something that you need to attain. You just have to remember it. It is not conditional love. It is not unconditional love. It is just love. And until you have remembered that or experienced it for yourself again, there is not a way for me to explain it in order for you to understand it. It is not an understanding. It is just is. So call yourself back, call back all the energy that you have given to the world around you, hoping that if you gave it to them, that they would return with the gift that you so desire. And in taking back that power, you create the gift within yourself. You remember the truth of who you are, clearing out all the junk that keeps you from allowing you to use your energy for your own creations. And then the world shifts around you to display that. You have always been the magician. You have always been the creator of your reality. You have just forgotten. And the earth has grown impatient with you remembering this. It doesn't mean that she won't forgive you, because she waits for your return. She knows that some of you are ready and some of you are not. And there's no judgment here. Who is ready is good and who is not, she knows someday you will return. But for those that are ready, it's time for you to remember yourself and become the true vessel of the universal creative force of love that you are and how always have been. It is not something to find outside yourself. It is within you. This is what you have forgotten, what calls you home. It's not a place. It's not somewhere out there. It's not under the ocean or under the earth crust. It is within you. You have forgotten your own home within you. And when you remember that and you peel back the layers and you allow the threads to unravel, you start to see and connect to the beauty that's been waiting for you to remember within yourself. You have that peace of mind. You find the joy. The abundance flows in ways that you cannot even imagine. But to do this, you must give up the chase. Many of you are addicted to the chase. You love the game so much that you can't let go. And knowing that, you are perpetuating your own suffering because the answer is not in that game. That game is someone else's game that you are choosing to watch and play in from a place of either powerlessness or fear instead of passively. There is a way to watch passively, but we ask that you don't do this at this time because even watching passively gives it energy for it to exist. If we roll back the camera to tens of thousands of years ago, going back to Lemuria and Atlantis, remember that you chose to create the systems that you feel you need to fight for now. Why is not the issue. Don't let your mind go there. Instead, choose to uncreate that. Heal whatever happened there and move on and choose to create something different. There is nothing outside of you that anyone has created. It is just you. Yes, there are other souls around you that have come to this planet during this time, and they are having their own experience, and they are just characters in your play. But they too have their own play that they are orchestrating in their own life. It is not of your concern, unless they are harming you in some way. And if they are, then it's not about them, it's about you, because you are manifesting that. I know these are some hard truths, but it's time for us to remember this. We must go through this dark hallway, not outside of ourselves, but within ourselves, to remember that this dark hallway actually leads to exactly what we've been looking for all this time. So the choice as the end of the year comes to a close is, what are you choosing? Are you choosing to remain in the old and energy of searching, needing to find an answer outside yourself, praying and hoping that something or someone outside of you will change or they will hold people accountable that you believe have caused you harm? Or you can step up to the plate and remember the truth of who you are and know that you create your reality and that you are in power. Heal the anger, the fear, the resentment, the powerlessness, the worry, so that you feel the joy, the expansiveness, the empowerment, the confidence to ride the wave of consciousness that runs through you to create a new play or a new game where you are the main character and you get to choose your experience. Choice has always been yours. You've just forgotten. And it's now time to remember. So what is your choice? There isn't a wrong or right choice. Either way works. No one can make it for you. This can only be made by you. So what is it?